Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my May TBR. I play a game on my channel called Roll the Dice with a Dash of Chaos. It was inspired by Jessie Mae and Sam from Not a Life of Lit. That's what her channel was. She has changed it recently and I can never remember what it's called. And this month, I just had an epiphany and wanted to do things a little bit differently. So we no longer have the whiteboard. We are going to do Roll the Dice with a Dash of Chaos. We still have the challenge prompt, Skull Cup. We still have the easy and the hard prompts, but I've done things a bit differently, and I will say I had so much fun doing it this way. We had a little bit of an oopsie, but please do let me know what you thought of it because I really value your feedback. But before we get into rolling the dice with a dash of chaos, let's chat about how I did in April. So here are the books I have physically that were on my April TBR. We had quite a few other books as well. April's TBR was not nice to me. We actually had 10 rolls instead of the usual 8, so I had to have read all of my challenge prompts and 5 of the books. So first, for lime green on the cover, I had Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty. I did read this. For an adaptation, I chose Peter Pan, and I did read this. Roll number 3 was Inkheart, and I still have not read this. I do have a couple days left in the month, but I don't think I will finish this, but I will be rolling it over because I need to read this. Roll number 4 was Iron Flame, but I did not see my mother in April, and she has my copy, so I did not read that. I don't have it, so that's a bummer. Then I had A Court This Cruel and Lovely on Kindle Unlimited. I did not read that. I had a challenge with that roll, which was to read a classic. I chose The Secret Garden, and I did not read this. Then I needed to read a book in a series. I chose Reckless by Elsie Silver. I did read this. A book I borrowed. I'm holding volume 5, but I actually put volume 4 of Spy Family that I borrowed from my son, and I did read volume 4. He currently has it with him at school. Roll number 8 was Divine Rivals. I did not read this. Roll number 9 was Check and Mate, and I did not read this either, though I really wanted to. And roll number 10 was Curse of Shadows and Thorns. I also did not read that. So if you were keeping track at home, I read 4 of my 10 rolls, so I did not meet the 5 out of 10 requirement, and I did not read Secret Garden, which was a challenge prompt, so I need to pull a punishment going into May. Once again, please do let me know what you think of the new way of doing Roll the Dice with a Dash of Chaos, or if you prefer the whiteboard I have done for over a year now. But I'm gonna stop rambling. Let's head over and roll the dice, and I'll meet you right back here to talk about my picks. I am so excited to set up my Roll the Dice TBR game in this new way this month. Let me know what you think of it, if you prefer the whiteboard, but I thought this would be fun for a more visual effect instead of me writing down the titles. So these are all books that I would love to get on my TBR for the month of May. I have library books that will be coming up due, books I need for videos, and I have included a couple books that I'm in the middle of, but no, I won't finish this month. And we are going to randomly place my Kindle, the easy bin of prompts and the hard bin of prompts in this lineup. We'll roll the dice and go from there. The same rules will apply where if I get doubles, I will choose out of my challenge bin, which is representing number 1, because obviously I can't roll a 1 with 2 dice. I don't want to over explain it. I'm sure it will be pretty self-explanatory as we go along, but let us place my Kindle first. So spot number 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will be 6. So I'm going to place it here. Now we need to place the easy bin. So if that is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it needs to go here. And now the bin of hard prompts is spot number 4, 1, 2, 3, right here. All right, this looks a bit chaotic, but I think it works. As I pull books out, I'm just going to like move the line down. I don't know if that makes the most sense or if I should take a book from the end and place it in, because obviously there's more than 12 spaces here right now. I'm not sure. I also have some books in the wings if we run out of books. We're going to do the same 8 rolls. I did not complete my April TBR, though I do have some days left. I'm just going to pull out of my challenge bin anyways as my punishment. I always get this. I kind of hate it, but oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just going to take Little Women. I don't really care if this is cheating. This is taking me months to finish regardless. And then these will kind of all shift down. All right, so we are ready for roll number 1. We have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Daisy hates. Roll number 2. 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That comes out of the easy bin. A hardcover book. For this, I'm going to choose Darling Girl. I need this for an upcoming reading vlog. Roll number 3. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm now realizing my last roll should have been God's Grave. Oh well, we're just gonna keep on rolling with it. This is another easy prompt. A book I've seen on TikTok. I don't feel like, actually, I'm going to put The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue in for this one. Daisy Hates also would have worked. Actually, you know what? I'm going to choose the 5th book in the Chestnut Spring series, which I will be reading on my Kindle, which is Hopeless by Elsie Silver. I feel like I see the Chestnut Spring series on Book Talk more than Addie LaRue nowadays. So yeah, I'm going to choose the Chestnut Springs series as this prompt. Roll number 4. 9 again, which we know is this bin. A random letter. Okay, let's do that together. All right, I'm going to choose this one and spin the wheel. J. I am so silly. I was really stumped on this prompt and I realized I don't know how many books I have with the title that starts with J. There's definitely a few, but how about an author where their name starts with J? I'm so silly. I went searching all around my bookshelves for other options, but I'm going to choose Nevernight. Roll number 5. Are we for real? But now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we have the sequel to Nevernight, which is God's Grave. Roll number 6. 3, which is a hard prompt. I feel like I like this way more than the other way. A reread. Oh boy. Okay, Nevernight would have been a reread for me. I don't remember if I read Inkheart as a child. Coming over to my book cart, I do see a book on here I have been wanting to reread, and that is Red Rising. Roll number 7. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blood Marked by Tracy Dion. Oh dear. Roll number 8, our final roll, is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A library book. This is Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates. Okay, we are back. I am super happy with the stack of books I have for May. I would love to read all of them, which isn't always the case, but that never happens. Once again, I must finish my challenges and read at least half of these books in order to not pull a punishment in May. Looking at this stack, as I mentioned, I'm very excited about all of them, but only one of my buddy reads / book clubs, anything like that, ended up on this list. So that's a little concerning, but I need to just stop rambling. Let's hop in. I needed to pull a punishment because I did not complete my April TBR. I got classic again. I keep getting this prompt. I think I'm going to remove it for a few months. I do dump out my bins before filming, shuffle up all of the papers and put them back in the bins. So it's not that I'm pulling out classic and then sticking it back on top and then I end up pulling it again. Like, I don't understand how this keeps happening. Classics are really challenging for me, but I have read a few this year. I am putting, this is kind of cheating, I don't care, Little Women, which was on for classic a previous month, and I still have yet to finish it. This is super slow going, but almost, I can't read it fast because it's not that sort of book for me, but I am really enjoying this. If you love like Anne of Green Gables, this gives me that same wholesome vibe. So I am enjoying it. It's just taking me forever. It is a brick. I am going to get rid of this copy when I finish and get a nicer copy, but that's besides the point. I need to finish Little Women in May or else. All right, now let's hop into the regular rolls that I did. Roll number 1, I got Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. This is the second book in the Magnolia Parks universe. I read Never by Jessa Hastings recently and just was so captivated once again by her writing style that I'm finally ready to dive in to Daisy Hates. I needed a break from Magnolia Parks. Is this very toxic, like Gossip Girl vibe, but set in the UK, and Magnolia and BJ's relationship brought up a lot of stuff from a previous relationship that I had in my life, and I just need a bit of a break. So I'm hoping that Daisy Hates doesn't hit me right in the feels as much, but we shall see. I am really looking forward to finally continuing this series. Roll number 2 was a prompt. I got the prompt hardcover, and for that I chose Darling Girl by Liz Michaelski. That doesn't feel right. This is a Peter Pan style book. I think this is more of a thrillery vibe take. Obviously it's still fantastical because we're going to Neverland and Peter Pan is fantasy, but I think this has a bit more of a thriller mystery lens to it. I'm not really sure. Roll number 3 was the prompt TikTok, so a book that you have seen on TikTok, and for that I'm choosing Hopeless by Elsie Silver, the 5th book in the Chestnut Springs series. This will be a buddy read with Sam. Of course, we have been reading through the Chestnut Springs series together and really loving it, and that will complete a series, so that will be amazing. This is with Bo, and I forget her name, but she is the bartender, right? And other than that, I don't really know the tropes involved in here. Role number 4 was a bit of an oopsie, but I just went with it. I got the prompt letter. I did a letter wheel and got the letter J, and then I went, oh my god, that happens so much. I went on this wild goose chase looking at all the books on my shelves and my TBR cart, looking at authors' names, like trying to figure out what I possibly wanted to read, where the title started with J or the author name started with J, and Nevernight by J. Kristoff was right in front of my face, and one of the books I had in the lineup that I really wanted to get to. So I wasted so much time. But anyways, for the letter J, I'm putting on Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I keep putting these on TBRs and I keep skipping over it. This is a reread, well, let's hop into role number 5, which was God's Grave. So I want to read book 1 and 2. In this, we are following Mia Corvair, and she is going to this very brutal assassin school. This is a new adult style fantasy series. As I said, this is a reread. Really loved it the first time and want to finally continue the series, but felt I need to reread this in order to continue. So both of these are on my May TBR. I'm realizing my May TBR is very dark and very not springy, which might be a problem or it might not. I don't know. I've been loving darker and more gothic reads lately. Speaking of rereads, role number 6 was the prompt reread, and for that I'm putting on Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is supposed to be a buddy read with my in real life bestie Rebecca, and she has not been ready to read this, but I have been chomping at the bit, so I'm hoping I can convince her to start it in May. I'm not really sure. Once again, this might get pushed off, but I would love to get to this. This is a sci-fi that is like the Hunger Games but in space. I've read this before. I loved it. I now own the rest of the first arc of this series and would love to reread this and continue. But I do only technically need to read 50% of this. So if this gets pushed off again, it's not that big of a deal. But Rebecca, if you're watching, I would love to read this month. No pressure though. Role number 7, I got Blood Marked by Tracy Dion. A key part of why I love this so much, I think, is because I included some library books as well, which balancing my Roll the Dice TBR along with library loans and when they're due back has been tricky previously, so hopefully this will help a bit. So this is a library book. It's the second book in the Legendborn cycle. I have now read Legendborn twice, really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. This is a dark academia YA fantasy. Bree is 16, but she's attending this college program because she's I don't know if she's gifted or just a good student. Anyways, her mother passes away and there's a bunch of secrets she's uncovering, including the secret society, which is based on Arthurian legend. And the first book was really great, so I reread that not too long ago and would love to continue with Blood Marked. This one's kind of chunky though, which makes me a bit nervous. Oh, it's just a little over 500 pages. It looks huge. And lastly, role number 8 was another library book, and this is Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates. I recently read Hunted by Darcy Coates and really enjoyed it and want to continue reading some of her novels. This is this a haunted house situation? Forced to come face to face with the horrors of the past and realize that she may be the next victim of a house that never rests. So I'm gonna say yes, that sounds like a haunted house situation to me, or like a sentient house. I'm not really sure. The tagline is covered by the library sticker, which is kind of silly. Oh wow, I didn't realize Darcy Coates had such an extensive backlist. I'm gonna have lots of reading to do. I really enjoyed Hunted. Like I said, I gave it 4 stars, 4.5 stars maybe. I read that in my 24-hour readathon vlog if you haven't seen that yet. So once again, another darker book. If you have any light, fluffy, springy reads that are maybe on the shorter side, let me know. I'm thinking this will sneakily be added onto the TBR cart again from April, just for that reason, because I might need a couple palette cleansers. Also on my TBR cart, I added Finley Donovan, which I thought could be fun and a way to break up some of these darker reads. But this is what my May TBR is looking like. Very dark. Because even Daisy Hates has like mafia vibes, doesn't it? And then we have this like wholesome classic at the top. But I don't know why I love this TBR stack so much more. I think the visual aspect of rolling and having all the books in front of me that I have slotted for reading plugs coming up, or that I'm just very excited about, and the library loans I have currently out just made me even more excited than trying to arbitrarily think of titles I had on my shelf and writing them on a whiteboard. I'm not really sure, but I'm half out of frame. Here is what I'm working with for May. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the TBR game, as I've mentioned multiple times now, and what you are excited to read in the month of May. I would love to chat with you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!